Welcome, my curious wanderers, to yet another chapter of Echoes of the Dark. Tonight, we explore an enigma buried beneath the placid surface of suburbia, an urban legend, or perhaps something infinitely more sinister. We call this tale Wysteria's Lament. Do you dare accompany me? Let us begin. Wysteria Lane, an unassuming street with picket fences and rows of houses painted with shades of normalcy. But there's an old rhyme whispered among the children there when adults are out of earshot. On Wysteria Lane, flowers lie. Feed them not, or you'll surely die. In their roots, a spirit hides. Watch your step, she knows who spies. Ah, charmingly creepy, isn't it? But beneath the childish sing-song lies something that shadows refuse to speak of aloud. It began, or so they say, when the house at the end of the lane was first built. That house, an imposing Victorian structure cloaked in vines and briskly forgotten, was unlike the others. The family, the Gareths, settled in with a quiet welcome. Lucy Gareth, young and full of fire, tended its garden obsessively. Every morning, she'd be out there, barefoot on the dew-drenched soil, swaying between roses and lilacs like a phantom committed to her gardener's rituals. The neighbors were beguiled by her, even enchanted. A green thumb like none other, they'd murmur. That is, until her roses began blooming black. Yes, black roses. Impossibly black, softer than velvet and deeply fragrant. The gossiping tongues of Wysteria Lane tried lifting her secret, but Lucy's lips were locked tighter than the roots of her plants. Rumors grew restless. Perhaps the soil's tainted, mused Mrs. Forth, head of the HOA. Or maybe she's doing something unnatural, whispered another. Fools they were, poking sticks at what they couldn't comprehend. But Lucy had her reason. Oh yes, my sweet watchers. That soil was far from ordinary. 2 decades before, there'd been a tragedy. A 7-year-old girl named Wysteria had vanished from this street, stripped from existence as though the wind itself had swallowed her. No signs. No leads. Only a lone black rose found brushing defiantly against the October air, swaying though there'd been no breeze. Lucy knew this, of course. More than anyone. One ill-conceived autumn dawn, after Lucy's roses grew otherworldly, fear finally unshackled the neighbors. They demanded entry into her garden, their fists pounding as their mouths sang with accusations. Witchcraft, devilry, anything that could stand as a label against their immeasurable unease. Lucy relented eventually, her eyes glinting with something uncomfortably close to amusement. When the iron gates swung open, they charged forward in reluctant unison. But inside, silence fell heavier than fog. The garden was massive, lush to the point of drowning. Roses of every color stood high like sentinels, except for those singular black blooms. And beneath the black roses, a peculiar mound of disturbed earth, a trail leading further into her greenhouse. Mrs. Forth was the first to approach the ominous mound, clutching her rosary the way one prods a wild animal with a stick. She kicked aside scattered petals, and then she screamed. Underneath the fragrant pile lay brittle bones, meticulously arranged into a small, childlike figure, a stark reminder of the girl who had once existed on this very lane. The town recoiled in horror, their collective fear howling inside their spines. Lucy made no attempt to stop them when they fled for the authorities. It is said she only smirked openly for the first and last time. When the officers arrived hours later to apprehend Lucy Gareth, they found neither her nor the ghastly grave in the greenhouse. The house appeared abandoned, dust settling generously over untouched tiles, and her prized roses wilted to non-existence, as though they'd burned themselves out by sheer malevolence. Yet Wysteria Lane was never the same. Strange happenings continued, you see. Neighbors spoke of hearing the faint laughter of a little girl echo through empty streets after dusk, only for her voice to twist into something guttural and shrieking. Most bizarrely, roses, normal until that point, sporadically bloomed black along their fences without warning. Lawns scorched overnight, pets vanished, Those who tried moving out of Wysteria Lane reported disasters before leaving. Car crashes, house fires, and illnesses that made no rational sense. It was as though Lucy, or whatever she had conjured, was chaining them to the soil for eternity. Within a year, 8 families had moved into the Gareth house's shadow and fled. None lasted more than 3 months. Even now, those who remain whisper of shadows that flit at the edge of view, brushing against drawn curtains. Most avoid the Gareth house altogether, except for the brave or unbelievably foolish. There is one constant truth whispered among them still. You mustn't touch the roses. If you do, Wysteria speaks, and when she speaks, she laments her end. They'll see, all of you. Won't you sing my lullaby? Won't you stay and play? Let's pray those words never find your ears, dear listeners. For as you've surely guessed, none can resist obeying when Wysteria finally summons her playthings. I ask you now, what do you believe? Was it a haunting, a curse, or something older than either? Whatever it is, do keep your roses red and never let them darken. Who knows what spirit may slumber in the soil beneath? Until next time, my beloved darklings, tread softly beneath the moon. You never know when you'll stumble upon another unquiet story. Sweet dreams, or rather devilish ones.